Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Onimonogatari. Tonight we're on episode 4, the last episode, I think, of this arc. So, what happened last time? A great question. The really quick synopsis before we dive into the comments is, basically, Gaen is, okay, so it ended with Araragi walking up to a house, and Gaen's there. So that's obviously the big thing that we're going to be dealing with first. Before that, though, Shinobu has been yoinked by the shadow, the darkness. Well, the darkness, like, slid onto Araragi's shadow, so she tried to go in Araragi's shadow and went into the darkness instead. Which, you know, suboptimal. And now it's just Araragi, Shinobu, or Araragi, Ononoki, and Hachikuji who are walking around, but Hachikuji got freaking knocked out again. So, rip. Dude, poor Hachikuji keeps getting knocked out. Yeah, I think she got knocked out at the post getting saved again. Though we'll scroll through just to make sure. The big thing though is that we're meeting Gaen and the Shinobu Araragi connection has been disrupted. But so let me quickly boom get the comments on screen. A lot of these comments are about, so like last episode I was doing, we spent a little bit of time yapping about like the length of Monogatari episodes, because, you know, your boy has been putting out really long ones. And I'm not of the... So just... I'll try to keep this short. I'm told... Like, I think being concise is super important, because there's a lot of... it's really easy to spend a lot of time saying nothing. And so I do really appreciate a lot of the feedback on these that are basically saying, like, where a lot of people are happy with the longer stuff. This is kind of, I mean, be proud of this because I've seen people talking essentially babbling nonsense and repeating themselves. Yeah, that's like exactly what I'm scared of doing. So I do really appreciate, you know, the people being really nice and like kind of saying Pog to continue as done. Also shout out to, I tend to keep it playing quietly, another tab while I'm watching on Pixel Drain. That's what we like to see, okay? Your boy does put all the Pixel Drain, which is like the full opacity thing, in the comments. But, you know, I do sacrifice watch time for that. But you know, I'm still fine with it because I want people to be able to watch it in the best way possible. So, but I do appreciate people that still, you know, give me that little watch time. Just a treat, just a little treat to me, just a little treat to the YouTube analytics. But yeah, I still do appreciate like this comment from the video before episode 2, you know, saying like, you know, think about it, think about where you're spending time talking. I think this was just pretty much the perfect way to, like, say it, you know? Like, this is not a please change how you do stuff, but a think about it maybe. Totally happy with that. So not at all trying to, like, dig on that or anything. Like, I do appreciate it. Because at the end of the day, the most important thing, I want to make these videos as good as possible, right? And so a little bit of, like, thought, constructive criticism, that kind of thing, I'm totally down with. It's just, you know, it can get spicy quick. It can get spicy quick. That's all I'll sound at. So this big ol' tiger here, I say tiger because I read the word tiger. This big ol' chunker here, is what I really want to get into, because a lot of the other stuff, like I do appreciate. I read through all these, like I'm pretty locked in on. I don't think we need to spend time on those. There's a couple things like this too, like the tree, yeah, like right here. I rewatched a large chunk of the, what is it? Tsubasa Tiger episode 3. I rewatched that and also a little bit of episode 4 just before starting this. And that's where this comes from. Bro, also I pulled my neck when I was asleep, so your boy's neck do be kind of hurty though, not gonna lie. Yeah, and this is Cochin again. So yeah, no, you're good, Cochin. I appreciate it. We do love the yapping. We do love the yapping. We just want to make it as good. We want to make the yapping as crystalline, as pure, a drop of silver ambrosia dew as possible. But yeah, so let's talk shop here. The most important thing is that something I wasn't thinking about is how Tsubasa Tiger literally is having things, like it's happening at the exact same time as this, right? The most important part being that Hanakawa, or Black Hanakawa rather, in Tsubasa Tiger talked to Shinobu when, like right now, chronologically, because Shinobu and Araragi are separated, but we literally see Hanakawa talking to or Black Hanakawa talking to Shinobu, and they say like, oh, and Shinobu says, oh, my connection's been severed between Araragi and me. So I have that pulled up, so we'll go into that in a second. This is pretty much, let me just real quick. Boom. Okay? My freaking marker's dying, so I need to get new markers. This is what's gonna happen, okay? We're gonna have our Gaen conversation. right? Because that's what's literally the end of Onimonogatari episode 3 was pulling up to Gon's house accidentally, right? And she's like, oh, you want to know about the darkness? Good thing I know everything. Thanks, Gon. Glad you know everything. So we're having a Gon conversation. Then Black Hanakawa tells Shinobu in Tsubasa Tiger episode 3 that Araragi and Kanburu are at the cram school, right? Or were at the cram school. I don't know if it's are at or were at, but kind of same difference. They were at the cram school, so that they go to the cram school, right? So that means that after Gon conversation, Araragi is going to go with Kanburu to the cram school, right? I would assume. Obviously, like, going to Kanburu is a thing. I just don't know why Kanburu is going to be brought up. Like, she's just kind of a random character to throw in, and Shinobu even says as much in Tsubasa Tiger. But I'll pull that up in a minute, after comments. So that's going to happen. The cram school does burn down before Black Hanakawa and Shinobu show up. So, I mean, that could be a fight happening. That could be, like, severing ties to the past, kind of thing. But I don't know. It's hard to say. I'm not entirely sure. Then we have Episode and Gon meeting, because in episode 4 of Tsubasa Tiger, they were meeting when when Hanakawa showed up, and then Gon spat some tiger bars at Hanakawa, which is what kind of caused the tiger to be concluded in episode 5, right? But that was episode meeting. So Gon's gonna make it out. Like, Gon's gonna be totally fine with whatever happens at the cram school, because she meets episode, like, the next day. And that means that episode's probably not gonna show up yet, because, show up in this next episode, because he still has to meet Gon the next day, I think. So whatever happens with this Gon conversation is... And I mean, like, everybody's talking about a job they gotta do, right? Like, Ononoki's talking about the job they gotta do. Kage Nui is. Gon in an episode. So, I mean, is it safe to assume that the job is this darkness? Because that's a pretty easy thing to pin it on. Or, like, is the Araragi Shinobu stuff in general? Well, not in general, but the darkness, question mark? I don't know. I'm just ready for Gon to explain it to me, But then, of course, the most, like, the capstone, the spot we're going to end, is Araragi showing up to save Hanakawa with Heartspan, right? And specifically because he shows up with Heartspan, which is the big sword, right? That means that he meets back up with Shinobu. So, in between... Now, the beginning of this episode of the Gon conversation and the end of Tsubasa Tiger, which is, I think, the next day or the next night, in between this time, Araragi and Shinobu are going to meet back up. Because Kanburu becomes part of the picture, I think Gon's going to make that, like, it's going to, I don't know, a lot of moves are going to be made that probably gets rid of the darkness by the end of this next episode and within the next chronological day. I just don't know what the darkness is. And I've made a lot of guesses, right? But, like, I don't know how to get rid of it. I mean, Gon's gonna just spit bars, and it's not like an oddity, so it's not like a lot of my... I don't know what it is. I didn't know there was supernatural stuff other than oddities going around, so that's just a crazy thing. Until this arc. Yeah, so let me scroll through this comment a little bit. A lot of the stuff I just yapped about was based off of this comment here, and, like, what I looked at. This was fun. I'm always watching you. Good, I'm glad to be watched. But I know that my fellow Monogatari brethren won't disappoint and provide you with all the necessary information. Shout out to the Monogatari commenters. Do be popping off. Tsubasa Tiger's happening at the same time. There's the clues like Hachikuji without her backpack. Shinobu and Black Hanakawa in Tsubasa Tiger. The don't worry message, which was like... I was getting like a deja vu when the don't worry message happened. Because I was like, what? It's just... Man, it's crazy how it's just a rewatch show. It's just a rewatch show because it's been a minute since Tsubasa Tiger, right? It's been like a couple arcs, so so I do appreciate though getting this information back so we can start playing with it. We saw Gon in the arc. She was in a hurry for some job. She spoke to Hanakawa. Right. Ononoki in the arc said something about the job, etc. Which I did yap about. The OP's name is what? White Lies? Wait, why is the OP called White Lies? That means lying. Shinobu, you better not be lying to me, baby girl. Okay, don't say that. But you better not be lying to me, Shinobu. I don't know. I'll keep thinking about that when we watch the OP. Something in here was, I think, good to remember as well. And this is kind of light novel anime order thing. So obviously we've been doing the light novel order, which I've been totally fine with. Oh, shout out the dog who's having a panic attack apparently. But so I like this little breakdown. So the kind of 3 options for dealing with problems that Monogatari has kind of told us. So the comment goes, avert your gaze, which run away, and facing the problem head on. Now I would kind of, I think, adjust this a little bit if I were to say it. I'm like totally fine with this, but like you say, immediately following up, there is a lot of layers and nuance to these things, and a lot of the character arcs can be like manipulated and toyed with in a lot of ways. Because like Hanakawa, like avert your gaze kind of feels like a Sengoku thing too, and I think you can attach it to both of them. But it's just, you know, like Hanakawa was like accepting of everything, which is kind of like averting your gaze, but it's like a different spin on it. I don't know. You could yap about that for a long time. But yeah, just this is definitely something the show keeps telling us about, so good to keep in mind. I don't have anything to yap about there. And then the tree thing as well. This is something like the naming structure of Araragi. This is something I've been told a couple times. I'm just gonna highlight it here so you can read it yourself if you're trying to. It's just the tree thing is so weird to me. And specifically in Kizu, correction, he wanted to be a plant rather than a tree. It's just that he became a tree because that was like that manifesting at the end of Kizu 2, right? When he just randomly went tree mode, which caught me way off guard and was kind of never referenced again. So, I mean, maybe because the cram school burns down, right? And the cram school has that giant tree kind of stemming out of it, and we're getting all this tree imagery. So perhaps like the tree burning down represents Araragi's wish of becoming a plant, like going away, and him kind of moving past that? Question mark. Because we are in like such a specific moment with Araragi being disconnected from Shinobu, where I think there is a lot of opportunity for change in his character and like in his motivations. So if we were to try to connect that to the cram school burning down, that could connect to the tree specifically, which I think is him wanting to like step outside of his own life in a way, like still be alive, like he doesn't want to die. With the whole tree thing, it's not saying that he wants to die as much as he just wants to not be bound by like certain parts of living anymore, like certain parts of the human experience, like justice, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, perhaps by the whatever happens with this Gon conversation will have to do with Araragi being more accepting, or at least, yeah, more accepting of his humanity. Which is interesting because obviously he's half vampire. Though, so this is true as well. It's always a good time to remember what everyone represents. I'm not going to go through a big list of that right now because I do that a lot. But Pink Cube, love it. Yeah, I appreciate that, Yosh. Let me real quick get this on the screen. So this is no, wait, this is the wrong one. wait. Neko Monogatari Shiro episode 3. So Neko Monogatari Shiro episode 3. This is Shinobu talking to Black Hanakawa. Let me full screen it. Boom. This is Shinobu talking to Black Hanakawa. She literally says, right here, because Hanakawa goes to sleep in Araragi's room, right? And then Shinobu shows up because she's looking for Araragi. They even kind of say, yeah, right here. Black Hanakawa's like, yo, aren't you in that guy's shadow? Araragi's shadow. And then Shinobu replies. This is a fire shot, by the way. It's like a roulette wheel. I mean, what number is she? Do I care enough about roulette? You know what? Let's see what number she is in this. Let me look at a roulette wheel. Roulette wheel. Okay. Or is roulette... Okay, so 2802. Oh no, are all roulette wheels different? Oh wait, no, it's right here. Okay. So 0, 2 is that way, 14. So then there's 28, 9. Okay. So Shinobu's red 9. Does that mean anything to anyone? Red 9? I don't know what that means. Okay, continuing. I mean, the roulette thing could be kind of funny because it's like, I'm not gonna, I know this is a bit much, but like red and black, light and day, sun and moon, oddity and human, but then there's the green, right? The ultra thing where it's like neither red nor black, neither oddity nor human, perhaps a mix of both. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe that's a bit much. Especially because their shadow is not, like, that's not where Shinobu and Araragi's shadow is, right? Continuing, though. She straight up says, the pairing between me and my master, Oshino Shinobu and Araragi Kyoyomi, has been severed. The important thing here that I wanted to find, is... Shinobu says something very interesting right here. It's merely two sides of the same coin. She says that, like, the difference between oddities and humans are very... Like, she doesn't see it as that crazy. Let me see if I can find it. I might just cut this out if it takes me a second here. Right. No, it didn't take me that long. I probably won't cut that then. Bet. In my view, both oddities and humans are rather similar. So, I agree. I like that. And especially a lot, like, I would agree with that overall, too. Especially because oddities are, you know, based in the beliefs of humans. So for them to be similar, like, that's already an easy thing to say. I think that the cram school burning down could have to do with... Because, I mean, think about it. In Bake, the cram school was the place that we solved oddities, right? It was, like, it was Oshino's house, basically, right? So... For it to burn down, I think could represent like a time where we're no longer solving them as much as we're doing something else with them that perhaps is in line with Shinobu's thing of oddities and humans being similar. So that's what I'm kind of thinking we're going to go with the Gon conversation and with whatever Konburu gets brought into. That it's going to be like a conjoining of some sort. Especially because by the end of this... Araragi is going to be back with Shinobu so that he can save Hanakawa with Heartspan. Like, that just kind of needs to happen. So, or maybe back with Shinobu is not the perfect way to put it. Because maybe their connection stays, like, more distant than it was originally. But they still can meet each other. Perhaps a distance grows, like a healthy boundary distance. I don't know. That could be an interesting idea. Because just because he has Heartspan doesn't mean that Shinobu's back in his shadow constantly. Perhaps Shinobu in some way gets freed from him because of whatever this happens with the darkness. But I kind of don't think so. That would be... A lot would have to happen for that to make sense. Especially considering everything that's been going on in... Like, think Kizu and just... The whole thing of them needing to be together. I mean, the entire Shinobu Araragi point is that they're conjoined like that. So... If they were to not be as conjoined at the end of this arc, that would be a very big deal. But that, you know, just because he has Heartspan doesn't necessarily mean that they're back to where they were, back to step one. I just don't know how to slay this darkness, man. Let me put this back up. Velcro. Thank you, Velcro. Let me pull up Onimonogatari, episode 3. So yeah, Hachikuji big sleeping. Oh, wait, she wakes up. We fight to the death. Araragi gets bit by all three of them at the same time. Triple kill. Shinobu gets freaking munched in the shadow when they jump upward. Although it does knock Araragi out because his immortality's been weakened. Hachikuji's out for the count too. And the shot of Araragi with the tree goes hard. Why does he go to Gon's house again? Because he doesn't know he's going to Gon's house. That's just literally RNG, right? Because they're talking about, like, doing that, but then she's just there. Gon was part of the club too. We knew that. Upperclassman, we knew that. Yeah, they just pull up to a house. Gon, you got a nice place. We're travelers, we'd like some food. Man, Araragi, you're kind of a rat. Oh, borrow your phone. That's right. They were having trouble to, because the contact was out because the freaking, they couldn't jump again because Araragi was too weak and there was no phone signal. So they were trying to get the phone call. That's right. But then, oh, look who it is, Gon. It's also crazy. Wait, look at this. This shot of the sky here with this coloring. This is the same coloring they did with her previously. This is like the Gon sky coloring. Like, if you directly compare them, like, I think the only time we've seen this type of coloring is the last time Gon showed up. That's kind of cool. And wow, sorry, I just rammed into my desk. No, and the only reason I recognize that is because when I get thumbnails, like, I end up looking at stills of the show a lot, and I'm pretty sure that's the still. Or that's very similar to the still that I previously saw with Gon. Why do you know everything, man? That's such a random thing for her to just do. I kind of want to just jump into this episode, honestly. Well, are there any, like, Giga Brain IQ predictions I'm trying to do? I don't know, not really, man. I'm just trying to enjoy the show, man. Like, I'm ready for whatever happens. Because the darkness, it just comes down to the darkness. I don't know what the darkness is. Because it's just pursuing. And it got Shinobu. The thing that... Oh, let me talk about this. Okay, this is something they can talk about. The thing about the darkness is that it didn't even kill Shinobu. Right? It TP'd her away. It disconnected her. Unless it was that... Because what they think happened is that like, the darkness overlapped the shadow. So she tried to go into the shadow, but she went into the darkness instead. That's what they say. Oh, yeah, Hachikuji saw it. So I trust Hachikuji. I trust Hachikuji. But perhaps the darkness doesn't kill as much as it just displaces, right? Because she isn't dead. She literally showed up at Araragi's house, right? So I think it just TP'd her away. But that doesn't really line up with what Shinobu was telling us about the darkness, which is why I'm getting worried. You know, especially with the OP being named White Lies. And because, like, all the people disappeared without a trace, so I guess that could have been them getting displaced, but, like, where would they be getting sent? But the part specifically is, like, Shinobu getting a kiss shot, getting enveloped by the darkness, taking 3/4 of her body away. That, I mean, I guess what? It just teleported 3/4 of her body and most of the dude's hand. But that means that that dude, her minion, like, if we're going with the idea that the shadow displaces rather than kills, that means that the dude got consumed up to his hand, which means that the guy just got TP'd somewhere else with everything but his hand, and then Shinobu, or Kiss Shot, bit the hand, regened the guy. So what, now there's just two of the guy walking around? You know, because the original guy would just be walking around without a hand if he got TP'd, and then the new guy, the minion, was a vampire, but he was completely reformed. So, I mean, that's not impossible, I guess, for there to be, like, two of the guy. It's just weird. It's just a weird idea. So perhaps if the darkness... Because Shinobu's fine. At the end of the day, Shinobu's completely fine. So the darkness doesn't, you know... Maybe it's just a desire to be distant, right? Maybe it's a desire for that Araragi's having for Shinobu... For, like... One of the two of them, either Shinobu or Araragi, want to be more alone. Right? Want those boundaries back up. It could be like the oddityification, personification, objectification of a boundary that then comes in to separate them forcefully. But that doesn't really perfectly make sense with the stuff that Shinobu told us, but now I don't, like, fully trust the stuff Shinobu told us. Because Shinobu's completely fine when she got glomped by it. But I guess she, based on her story, like, she could have still been not lying because she never got glomped by it, so she doesn't really know what happened. Right. I don't know. But imagine, like, if the story's true and 3/4 of her did get TP'd away, then what happened to it? Because that's 3/4 Kiss Shot, which is a lot of oddity power that just got TP'd somewhere. I mean... That could be pretty sick. Like, because do imagine if it is that the shadow, the darkness, does displace rather than destroy, then the 3/4 of Kiss Shot that got glomped by it would have been displaced somewhere. So now we got a ton of vampiric oddity energy chilling somewhere, and that energy could have been like the ancestor to episode... I don't remember the names of the guys in Kizu perfectly. Guillotine Cutter, I don't remember if he was the human or not. But there was the full vampire and then episode who was like half vampire, if I remember right, in Kizu. I mean, maybe they're part of the freaking, you know, they could be connected to this random 3/4 Kiss Shot energy that got dropped somewhere. But I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, I do kind of want to just jump into the episode. Hopefully, they'll give us a lot of satisfying conclusion to these questions, because it really has been an arc of just there's a mysterious darkness chasing us around, and we don't know what to do about it. And now Gon's gonna spit bars and explain the situation. So thank you, Gon. We are drinking a what? Let's this one. We are drinking a Dr. Pepper cream soda. Let me just take a little sip. Get yourself a snack. Get yourself a drink. You already know how it goes. Ah, wonderful. Quite frankly, the nectar of the gods. Okay. Slap that down. We're nice and jaffinated up. Episode 4 of Onimonogatari. Gain, spit bars, probably meet Kanburu, burn down the school, slay the darkness, rejoin with Shinobu. Bang, bang. We love to see. Or maybe we don't even slay the darkness, and the darkness still exists, but only becomes a problem if Araragi and Shinobu are too connected or something weird like that. We'll see. We'll see where it goes. Onimonogatari, episode 4. Let's get this going. In a 3, 2, 1, bang! Oh my goodness, I should not have looked away. Sit on her lap? Okay, that's cool. What's the job? Oh, she's playing with her thing. Ew. Oh, Noki did not like that. I'm fine with Gon, you know? Oh, me too, brother. Me too. Me too, Araragi. Me too. Bro, Gon reminds me of Oogie. Ogi. I just got a weird Ogi connection. There could be a connection there. Koyomin. White lies. White lies. In the darkness moments. So maybe, wait, is this the inside of the darkness in the OP right here? Because that could be a crazy, right? I don't know what the darkness is. I don't know what's inside of it, you know? I don't know. Maybe the darkness is like some sort of like tangible truth or something, because it's saying in the darkness these things never lie. Bro, this OP is so fire. I just love this OP so much. And why is Ogi there? Bro, Ogi and Gon are a problem. I don't know how, but Ogi's connected. Ogi's surely connected to Gon, right? Like, I don't know. I'm just getting that weird feeling. In the OP, what is happening? What is happening? Okay. Lock in, lock in, lock in, lock in. I'd rather not know about. Okay. Why you looks like that? Why do you look so scary? Three scares me. Makes me think of Three Wishes or something. That's my boy Araragi. Yeah. That's a very Araragi thing to say. And he'll do anything. Whoa, an underwater park? That's such a cool location. She's fine. I'd like you to introduce me to someone, and I'm in a hurry. Who? Kombaru? Kombaru, Kombaru. Yep, Kombaru. Easy, easy, easy. Easy, 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 easy. Are we gonna meet at the cram school? But then why is it burned down, dude? Okay. The Gon clan? The lore, dude, the lore. Okay, what are you introducing as? Okay, just something else. What is the job? Yes, tell me, tell me, tell me. Perfect, wonderful. Okay, and that's going to be the day, and then the night is going to be when he shows up with Heartspan. So I think his help is going to be over the course of the day. Or it could be longer afterwards. I'm trying to remember when he was missing in the previous arcs. I wonder if it has to do with Numachi at all, because it requires the Devil Hand. So some of the Numachi stuff could tie in. This background music's fire. I love the music in the show. Gain is relieved. Don't third person me. Don't third person me. Oh, there's a tree there. Why is there a tree? Okay, power pose. You need to be distanced from Shinobu. I'm totally fine with that. Because their connection, I think, is what's maybe causing the darkness. It will be revived soon. Very, very true. Very soon. Hmm? She was... Okay. Okay. His shadow moving was really cool there, too. Why is he targeting Hachikuji? Oh no, you gotta speak up if you got those thoughts. Wait, why? Yeah, Araragi I could have seen. That was who I was gonna guess if I had to guess, other than Shinobu. But why? Is it because she's not she has like a different role than the role she's usually had? Because that's what happened with Shinobu when she was kiss shot. She was acting as a god. Anti-existence. Oh, that's a sick shot. Okay. Yeah, okay, perfect. Yeah, so Hachikuji's doing that because she's being more of Araragi's friend than she actually is doing her ghost thing. Gotcha. Okay, I'm good with that. I'm happy with that. Yeah, easy. I'm gonna want to rewatch this too, so 9:45. Yeah, because she was acting as a god. Oh god, you and me, I'm here! Yeah, don't sweat it. So Hachikuji's playing just Araragi's friend, rather than the lost wandering snail, right? Or maybe... I don't know. I don't know specifically what Hachikuji's done wrong. Right, yeah. Those are the white lies that the OP is named after. And then she was good. Yeah, she was safe. Bro, she's in a freaking cage of chairs. Agreed. Oh, you little rat, Hachikuji. No wonder you kept getting knocked out, you little rat. Hmm? Oh, yeah, because she dead. Oh, because he's grown up. Araragi's grown up, so like the child is... That's kind of that could be a thing there. So the child's supposed to be gone. Oh, Hachikuji. Oh, because she got home. She got home. It must have been when she got promoted, right? At the end of Mayoi Snail. The inexperienced Mime. Hey, don't call him inexperienced. He's trying his best. Facts. Dang, that's crazy. Well, but didn't she do that with Hanakawa a little bit? I kind of thought she did that with Hanakawa. But I guess she didn't get people lost. Yeah. She just showed up to Hanakawa when Hanakawa was in that state. But she's not doing the job she's supposed to do when she shows up to people. I was deceived. Wow. Wow. Self-deception. Okay. And we just can't stop that? That's just GG? Denial. Good point. That's why she kept being unconscious. And that's why we're safe right now. Wow, okay. And that's why we can't go back to the house. That's why we can't go back to the house. Because then it would be messing up the thing and the darkness would show back up. Crazy. I'm glad the true nature thing ended up being right. That was one of the ideas that was flowing around. Just wasn't putting it onto Hachikuji at all. Though that totally makes sense. No, she has to die. I don't think you can. Yeah. Materialization of the rules. Good call. Good call on Inoki. It's like the one thing he tries so hard to never have happen, you know? He's always trying to save everyone. Extra innings. Aww. Yeah, there's no way to deal with this issue other than to deal with it. That's what he's supposed to be doing, right? Yeah, that's literally the Araragi special right there. She learned from him. Wow. Aww. He's gonna miss her. But then you'd be abandoning everyone else. Yeah. And Shinobu. Still gotta go get Shinobu. An Italian gentleman. Oh no. He let go of the hand. Yeah. She admits that she was lying about it. Oh, Nonoki. What a team up. It's just we've never like lost a character, so that I don't know what to do about that, you know? Like, I mean, she said that she might come back in like the clutch of times, you know, but oh man, this entire ED has been completely recontextualized too, you know? Man, it really was a Hachikuji arc. I want to be deceived by a lie? That's crazy to me. Her doing the actually. And that's just her in the ending here, yeah. Oh. 4 months later? What? Is this where Ogi's showing up? Yeah. He's telling the story to Ogi. Ogi's the audience. Ogi, what are you, you rat? I'm gonna push you into traffic. Figuratively speaking. Ends what needs to be ended? If I had to describe it, it's a job that punishes the liars. Like Gaon. Gaon said she didn't. Yeah, I don't know. Your war plan? What do you mean? Four months later. We're on the staircase. Yeah. Because you're part oddity, my guy. Like, low key. But it's not like he's not acting like his role, you know? Green on go. I don't know what an enemagra is. I don't. Genji Monogatari? What it? I don't. Karen and Tsukihi, please just end your preview. Why is it a minute long? Why is it so long? Oh, an anagram. I see. Wait, so the spirit that's like fading away at the end of the OP, that's Hachikuji? I thought that was supposed to be Shinobu, dude. It looked like Shinobu. But I guess everybody except Hachikuji showed up, right? So it would make sense that, right? Well, no, Hachikuji shows up. Like, I'm obviously, like, unhappy, right? Not like with the show, because that was a great episode, but... I don't know, man. Because that's Shinobu. Yeah, and then there's Hachikuji. Dang, yeah, I mean, it looks like Shinobu, but I mean, that really is kind of Hachikuji passing on, I think. It's like, this is like the story of Kisha back then, I guess, but makes me think of Hachikuji now. Oh, man. That was like the most, like, I don't know, man. And they changed the ED. Didn't they change the ED? Let me check if they did change that. I think they did, right? Okay, fine. Pop players being annoying. Because she didn't fade away like that in this normally, did she? Yeah, it's just them two together, Shinobu and Hachikuji. But then in this last episode, they adjusted it so that it's just Hachikuji and then she dies. Well, it's just this isn't like what the show does, you know? The show doesn't get rid of characters. I mean, I've said it before, they never have killed a character before, but this was actually them killing Hachikuji. Which sucks. Like, why would you choose her out of everyone? Like, kill Oninoki. I don't care. Like, you know, kill someone else, right? I mean, it makes sense, and you know, totally lines up with what we were yapping about with the darkness. But it's just like, what a pick. And she definitely, like, was not doing her role as the lost cow at all anymore. Though, in Tsubasa Tiger, she, you know, Hanakawa does mention running into Hachikuji because of those reasons. But, yeah, I mean, she didn't lose people anymore. She just showed up when people were lost, but then, if anything, helped them find their way, right? Which was, like, not even just not the nature of the lost cow, but almost, like, antithetical, because she helped people get found and helped people get home. And that's what Araragi even says. And man, like, the shot, like, them being on, like, a sunken tree here, look at that. Like, this imagery. I love Gon, by the way. I don't know, like everyone's so, like, everyone has such bad energy towards Gon, but Gon just helps people out. I mean, I was kind of trying to, like, compare to Onin or to Ogi a little bit, right? Because it's kind of the same thing a little bit, where Gon just pushes people to do their thing, right? Like, pushed Hanakawa to deal with the tiger by exposing all that information. Helped Araragi, you know, and Hachikuji say goodbye by, like, saying that that's what the issue is. And Ogi's kind of doing that. What if their job is to deal with Ogi? I just don't know what Ogi is. And Ogi looks kind of like the darkness. I mean, I don't think that's a thing, but I mean, like, your design is so, you have just pitch black eyes, pitch black tie, pitch black hair. So maybe you're, like, a personification of the rules of oddities or something, and that's why you're, like, pushing people around and doing your thing. And for it to be her, right? For it to be Hachikuji's really upsetting. A, because she was, like, low-key the best one, you know? You know, definitely one of the best characters. But, you know, she's always been, like, his inner child, right? And, like, you know, Araragi, you know, like, used her as a replacement for his sisters, as his sisters grew up, you know, so it's like the innocence and the young spirit and all that. So, like, on a more, like, kind of a more meta layer, losing her is like Araragi losing, or, like, saying goodbye to his inner child, right? Which is something that he's taken a lot of comfort in and, like, used as a way to get away from, like, uncomfortable questions, you know, used as, like, a guiding figure, as, like, a compass of sorts. So, but, you know, growing up, which that's what Monogatari is all about, like, you don't get to hold on to that forever. Like, you gotta grow up. That's just what happens. So that's, you know, on both layers, it's really... It was so sweet, and, like, she was so ready for it, you know? The stuttering thing. And the kiss, I thought that was very sweet. I thought that was very sweet. That was, I think, my favorite of the kisses we've seen in the show. Which I'm not even bothered at all about. anything that I would have expected to be bothered by because of just like where their relationship was at. It was, you know, it's just very sweet. And the Oninoki freaking clutch, bro. The Oninoki clutch being there as the stepping stool, bro. They're like a tower of Goombas. Yeah. That was very sweet. You little pretending to be unconscious, you little rat, you little snail rat. Oh, man. What was this part about, like, 9 something? There was, like, part of the exposition I missed. Let me just watch this again. That only targets of oddities who have... That only targets oddities. So the darkness only targets oddities who have strayed from the path of an oddity. Let me run this back and listen to this, because this is really important. I was just a little, like... Was this post... Oh, yeah, this was immediately after saying Hachikuji's the target, so your boy was a little distracted by dealing with that. Unjust and absurd. It's crazy. Even Gaon describes it as unjust and absurd. That oddities have to stay as oddities. An anti-oddity for oddities. Something that eradicates oddities from existence. About the reason that why someone gets targeted, that isn't unjust. Yeah, target somebody who strays from the path, which is totally makes sense. I mean, we were thinking about that, just not applying it to Hachikuji. Humans who stray from the path of humanity are eradicated from society. That's the line I missed. Because Araragi, he's half oddity, right? Eradicated from society is such an interesting thing to say. Stray from the path of humanity. And oddities who stray from the path of oddity. I just wish there was a way for those two straying things, like the straying oddity and the straying human, to come together. Because that's what Araragi and Hachikuji kind of were. Because Araragi's not really much a member of society in a lot of ways, right? I mean, he doesn't see other people. He is literally half vampire. And doesn't value his own life, or like, you know, like he's very emotional and cares about like the other, like anyone else, right? Oddity or human. Oddities who stray from the path of the oddity are eradicated from the world by some supernatural power. Yeah, and then the Shinobu example makes sense. There's no reason for the current Shinobu-chan to be targeted, so she is safe. Okay, so her binding to Araragi is in line with being a vampire, though. That's at least something. I'm just going to keep watching chunks of this. I'm not going to be talking anymore. It is what it is. It is what it is. It's crazy because everything that she said to him was like so true, you know? Like where she's like, bro, Araragi, you do this all the time by taking all the responsibility on yourself. That's literally the Araragi special. These 3 months that I've spent having fun chats with you. Does she say she'll, like, come back at all? I'm looking for that line. You can't be like an Italian gentleman. Is that what Shinobu meant? That's just what made me laugh about the Italian thing. That's what she meant by Italian? I did not get that at all when Shinobu said it. It caught me so off guard. Just like somebody that, like, you know, is there with it was like, you know, latched in with everybody. Also, the voice actor for, or actress for Hachikuji was doing really good. The way that, like, because she was so strong in the beginning, but, like, near the end, like, you could hear it in her voice so much more. And when he lets go of her hand, right here, like how I promised to return someday if you find yourself in a bind. You better. Oh, and the music, man. You can't choose everyone. You can't be like an Italian gentleman. Because that's what he's been trying to do this entire time. Choose everyone, save everyone. So, why does the Crane School burn down? Does that just have to do with the separate thing with Kombaru and the job? Because, I mean, I was talking about, like, you know, this could be a large... Because, it's just... The Crane School was the place he saved everyone, and then he wasn't able, in a way, to save Hachikuji. In the Araragi way, which is to, like, save their life. But he did save her, right? He got her home, and then he spent time with her, which was, like, super valuable. Wait, is Oninoki sad too? Is she frowning? Nah, she just keeping the Oninoki stoic. This show is evil. This is an evil show. Why do we tell it to Ogi though? So 4 months later, he's telling Ogi this. Ogi's the audience, which I've said that before. That Ogi's the audience for the stories is like an idea. So for her to literally be the audience of this story is really interesting because this is the first time that we've seen the audience of a story of what a story that's being told, other than being the audience. So I don't know. That's interesting. That puts Ogi on like a different, like on kind of a unique spot a little bit. So I'm kind of curious about that. And like, why would you tell Ogi specifically? He's talking about how like everyone's like, he feels like everyone leaves him, you know? Which is, I mean, that's what happens when you grow up, right? You leave a lot of things behind. So, man, I feel that, brother. Yeah, it feels like everyone just leaves me and disappears. What is this here? Nothing I think about helps me. I give up where I should try to fight. And I've even stopped being sad about it, I think. Now he's lying. Let's just see how telling Ogi-chan affects things. And Shinobu saying war plan makes me think some sort of like problem is gonna break out. Like he's thinking of like causing some sort of chaos, you know, between maybe like the Gon squad, though I don't know why. Or maybe like the Kagenui. Well, yeah, like Gon episode Kagenui. I never use what, and I didn't really understand this bit here. Regretful attachment. Now empty of anybody I could meet. It's crazy too that he because like this, the red sign going green is like when Hachikuji crossed, which is when she got hit by the car, and also, you know, kind of an Ogi thing because the Ogi traffic light thing. So I mean, that's what's got it. Like every time he walks over a crosswalk, he's thinking of Hachikuji. But wow, I mean, this is a lot like a kind of a new Araragi, I think, that is able to say, "I'm happy that I was able to meet you," like because he's forced to move on. Because of this, you know, incomprehensible darkness that just shows up and just, you know, gets rid of Hachikuji. Yeah. And that's, I mean, that's so different from the Araragi that literally would rather die than have anybody disappear on his watch, which is what, you know, Kiss Shot is the perfect example of that. So yeah, I guess we're gonna be moving forward with a very different Araragi, I feel like. And you know what's the craziest thing? That he shows up in Tsubasa Tiger, like, the night of this. The night that he loses Hachikuji. And so he's back with Shinobu, totally makes sense. The darkness has been dealt with, you know, because it took what it was looking for and left. And yeah. I can't believe it freaking yoinked Shinobu, though. So I guess that's why Shinobu didn't get destroyed when she went into the darkness, is because it wasn't looking for her, so it just spat her out somewhere, you know? As opposed... So, but back then, when it yoinked... When it was going for Kiss Shot, it did eat 3/4 of her. It's not like that got displaced or anything. I think it was just unique to... Because it was looking for Hachikuji, it didn't actually affect Shinobu in when she got yoinked. Which, yeah, means that Shinobu wasn't the target, which, yeah. Man, stages of grief. Stages of grief, denial, bargaining. I mean, man literally goes through it. Let me look at those real quick. And then I don't know. What are the 5 stages of grief in order? Denial, definitely got that. Angered, definitely got that. You know, he's angry at the end, saying it's all half-assed, and that's when he lets go of her hand. Bargaining, he's saying there's got to be something we can do. Depression, that's why I think that's why he was telling Ogi about it. And then acceptance seems to be where he was at the very end here. So man literally goes through 5 stages of grief for Hachikuji, for the inner child. That sucks. That's horrible. This is horrible. Yeah. I'm kind of out of things to say because they just got rid of like the best character and then just said GG, and then now I'm supposed to go to Koi Monogatari. Like, that's just crazy to me, you know, that we're supposed to just move on like that. And I mean, is she gonna come back? Because she literally says, like, maybe I can come in clutch. Like, that's what our bond is for, you know? Just like, fuck me, man. But thanks God, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. That was an episode for sure. Really good episode. I know people were saying that like this arc of the second season was kind of like a little bit of a weaker. I heard some people saying that, but this episode really locked it in. It honestly reminds me of Maoi Snail way back in Bake, where it's just like we're thinking it's one thing the entire time, and then all of a sudden Hachikuji is completely like pulled one over us, or you know, where oh she's an oddity that can't be seen, right? Like the big twist. They did that again with Hachikuji. Where it's, we're just doing an arc. All of a sudden, oops, Hachikuji's has a big issue. Who knew? That kind of thing. Rest in peace, I guess. I mean, is she gonna ever come back, or am I just in the bargaining stage, you know? Very sweet, though. Very sweet. Yeah, I guess that's all I got for this episode of Onimonogatari. On to the next, Koi Monogatari, I guess, episode 1. Really looking forward to what y'all have to say about this episode. Yeah. Poor Hachikuji. What a goat. What a cow. What a snail. But yeah, on to Koi Monogatari, I guess. Of course, if you like the video, subscribe if you're new, or join the Discord, talk to me or other Monogatari fans there. But until then, until next episode, that's all I got for today. I'll be seeing you on Koi Monogatari episode 1. Be seeing you then. Peace.